What a game of Premier League football we have just witnessed. One team throwing the kitchen sink at it and doing everything they can for 3 points, and the other team defending for their lives. Matt Sels could save a PDF on a calculator. That guy was absolutely insane tonight. 3 or 4 incredible saves in the last 30 minutes of that game. Murillo and Milinkovic defending for their lives. Mohamed Salah, not at his best tonight, but Liverpool should take plenty of positives out of that game tonight. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. If we get 300 likes, that would be absolutely glorious. Make sure you have hit that subscribe button. We are just under 50 subscribers away from hitting 39,000. So big up to every single one of you that has shown some support. Now, that for me tonight was a fantastic advert for Premier League football. You saw end-to-end football. You saw one really strong defensive team. You saw one really strong attacking team. And you saw plenty of respect. I don't think there was any animosity tonight. I think you just saw two teams battling it out. Now, I want to start with Nottingham Forest before we come to Liverpool. Chris Wood, mate, this guy's on fire this season. This Forest team right now, I want to go for it, right? They've got such a good balance at the moment. They've got pace out wide in Ilanga and Hudson-Odoi that are both very good in 1v1 situations and a lot of the time make the right decisions when it comes down to that final third, scoring and creating. Elliot Anderson has been a fantastic signing for them this season. Is it Aina or Oina? Milinkovic and Murillo, absolutely superb. Sels, ridiculous. Gibbs White, got the fancy touches. And I think Nottingham Forest can definitely this season break into a European position 100%. The way they're playing right now, they're not afraid of going up against anyone. They understand their roles. They understand the task at hand. They've drawn with Liverpool. Listen to their last 8 games. They've beaten Manchester United at Old Trafford. They've beaten Aston Villa. They've beaten Brentford away, where they were the first team to do that. They've beaten Spurs, unfortunately. They've beaten Everton away. They've beaten Wolves away. They beat Luton in the Cup, and they've just drawn with Liverpool. The next 4 games is Southampton at the City Ground, Bournemouth away, Brighton at the City Ground, and Exeter in the FA Cup. I thought tonight they showed an absolutely exceptional effort to get a point out of that game. Liverpool, now, they are linked with a number of forwards as it stands right now. If I'm going to be critical, and I don't want to be too critical, because after all, they are top of the league, top of the Champions League, and potentially 90 minutes away from being in a final. Dominic Szoboszlai, for me, at times in games, as the number 10, I don't know if he's efficient enough in the final third in terms of his decision-making, goals, and assists to be Liverpool's number 10. Now, I know McAllister wears the number 10, but it's Dominic Szoboszlai who's supposed to be the most threatening in the final third. Luis Diaz got 5 goals in his opening 5 games, has only got 3 in his last 13. Cody Gakpo has been brilliant this season. They've all been very, very good. But whenever Liverpool drop points or lose a game, or for whatever reason it doesn't go to plan, they are going to get criticised. And I think it's fair to critique when criticism is due and give praise when they've had a great performance. Salah, for me tonight, not at his best. Wasteful in the final third. Could have had 2 or 3 goals. I thought Gravenberch was very, very, very good again. Gravenberch turns up, plays 90 minutes, and is absolutely insane. I think Gravenberch and Jota, for me, look, I'd say McAllister, Jota, and Gravenberch were their best 3 players. I thought Trent was okay tonight. I thought Van Dijk was good as well. Diaz, not that great. Gakpo, good. Robertson, not hugely, not massively impressed tonight. Now, the actual goal, Konate's out of position. Van Dijk's trying to cover two spaces. The ball's played through to Chris Wood, and it's a very, very, very good finish. And when that goal went in, I thought, now we're going to see what Liverpool are made of. Now we're going to see what this team is capable of. Right now, 1-0 down against one of the best sides at home this season, and a side which has won 5 Premier League games in a row. Do Liverpool have the cojones to fight back, to show some character? They were 1-0 down at half-time. Forest scored early on. Now, in terms of the first half, I actually think it was a very, the goal come from Murillo winning the ball back. Ilanga plays through Wood, who nets his 13th goal. I thought Forest really showed a good account of themselves first half, and their defence just completely isolated Liverpool's attackers. And I think Forest were deserving of a lead, although the XG was very much in Liverpool's favour of 0.46 compared to 0.30. I just thought one thing for me changed this game, right? In that second half, when Liverpool brought on Tsimikas and Jota. Now, that is a huge gamble for me because you're throwing out one of your most consistent players this season in Konate, and you're really throwing an extra body in midfield, and you've only got one centre-back on the pitch. But what it allowed that to do for Liverpool was to overrun the Nottingham Forest midfield, and Liverpool essentially went to a 3 at the back, which was Tsimikas, Van Dijk, and Trent, and they put Jota in kind of like an advanced 10/9 position, and they had Gravenberch sitting a bit deeper, and Szoboszlai, McAllister as 2 10s, with then Gakpo and Salah hugging the touchline. And every single time Trent got the ball or Tsimikas got the ball, they tried to play it out wide. Now, when you talk about an instant impact, I have not seen for the longest time an impact like that. Tsimikas' first touch and Jota's first touch, to my knowledge, created the goal. A great delivery in. Jota is sandwiched in between Chris Wood and Murillo, which is only like 5'10". I think he's my height. He's not the biggest guy. And he gets Liverpool back into the game. Now, Forest dug in for their lives. Matt Sels made 2 or 3 out of this world saves. One of the ones I'll talk about, the ball comes into the box. It goes across. I think it was Trent who played it across. Jota runs onto it. Matt Sels makes a ridiculous save. It then deflects onto Aina. I think is it Aina, the right back? Cody Gakpo coming in on that left-hand side, open his body up. You know what he's going to do. He's going to whip it to the far post. Sels gets a fingertip to it. Dominic Szoboszlai, 22, 23 yards out. A little touch, no backlift. Drills it. Sels gets the touch to it. He was absolutely insane tonight. I'd actually would give man of the match to Murillo, and I think that Steve McManaman's assessment of giving man of the match is 100% justified. I would closely follow it up with Sels, and then maybe a Gravenberch or Elliot Anderson or McAllister. Or they were all very, very good. That was a fantastic display of Premier League football. Nico Williams kept Salah very quiet. I think if Salah had his shooting boots on tonight, I think Liverpool would have won that. Now, looking at it in terms of the Premier League title race, that does open the door slightly for Arsenal. If Arsenal beat Tottenham tomorrow, which I absolutely pray they don't, and I actually think Tottenham will get a result. I mean, look at Chelsea. No wins in 5 Premier League games. If Newcastle win tomorrow, they're above into the top 4. Man City, of course, bottled that 2-0 lead. But in terms of the title race, they are currently still 7 points clear with the same amount of games played as Arsenal. But Arsenal can close that gap tomorrow with a win over Spurs to just 4 points. meaning Liverpool would have to go to St James's Park and win. Not St James's Park, just talking about Newcastle, Goodison Park. So in terms of the title race, that does make things a little bit more interesting. Now, of course, Arsenal have got huge injuries. They've got no Gabriel Jesus. They've got no Saka. They've got no Wanyeri. It'd be interesting to see how they get on, and they've got to bring a forward in, or at least two forwards in this window. But in terms of the title race, that does open up the door. When you look at Liverpool's last two games, 2 draws, I want to look at their fixture got coming up because Brentford away is not going to be easy at all. Now, the next 6 games, they've actually got 4 out of their next 6 is away from home. Brentford away, not going to be easy. They fought back a 2-goal deficit tonight against Manchester City, and they've only lost 2 home games this season against Forest and Arsenal. Lille, I think they will comfortably win, and that will be 7 wins out of 7 in the Champions League. Ipswich Town, really, I expect a really strong performance from Liverpool. PSV, I expect them to heavily rotate in that game, knowing the fact they would have already won their opening 7 games, to then go away to Bournemouth only a couple of days later, as well as a League Cup semi-final second leg against Spurs, which if they do have a strong 90 minutes, Liverpool, they will then be into the final. And then after that, they've got Plymouth Argyle, a comfortable draw, and Everton away. Now, that Everton game is absolutely fucking huge. If Liverpool win that game, that kind of, everyone says, oh, you know, the game in hand narrative is no longer there. So it will be what's on the board is what you see. Let me know your thoughts down below. I do still think it's very much in Liverpool's hands. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed. And I'll see you in the next one.